Good morning, esteemed viewers, and welcome back to Lifelines TV, where we bring you the untold stories that shape Kenya's political landscape. Today, we embark on a riveting journey into one of the most unexpected political developments in recent times. The meeting between President William Ruto and former President Uhuru Kenyatta at Ichaweri. But let me ask you this. How did we get here? How did two men, who could hardly stand being in the same room, whose rivalry transcended politics into the deeply personal, suddenly find themselves sharing moments of unity at Ichaweri? To answer this, let's rewind to a critical moment in mid-2023, a day that set the wheels of this historic meeting into motion. Do you remember that day? It all began with a dramatic raid that caught the nation's attention. DCI agents stormed the Karen home of Jomo Kenyatta, the son of former President Uhuru Kenyatta.
I asked myself, what does this government want? Because if it wants me...
On allegations that he was in illegal possession of firearms. It was a scene straight out of a movie, armed officers, flashing lights, and whispers of a politically charged operation. But this wasn't just any ordinary raid. Word quickly spread, reaching the retired president. Without hesitation...
Well, I got a report from my son that...
Uhuru Kenyatta himself rushed to Karen to confront the DCI officers. The tension was palpable. The former president, wielding the weight of his legacy and position, forced the agents to retreat. The message was clear. You don't mess with a former president's family. Later that day, Uhuru addressed the press, visibly agitated. He lamented the ongoing harassment of his family, accusing unnamed forces of targeting them for political reasons. His words resonated across the nation, sparking debates about the boundaries of power and the lengths to which political rivalries could go. On the surface, this event seemed to deepen the rift between Uhuru and Ruto. But behind closed doors it planted a seed that would grow into the Ichaweri meeting.
Yeah? Is that a crime? Maybe you should tell me if it's...
Here's the twist. The Karen incident set off a chain reaction. Influential figures, business leaders, family members, and religious leaders saw the raid as a dangerous escalation of hostilities. They began working quietly behind the scenes, urging both sides to reconsider their positions. The message was simple. Kenya's stability depended on their ability to find common ground. And so, the groundwork for reconciliation began. This wasn't an overnight process. It took months of delicate maneuvering, countless phone calls, and secret meetings. But how did we go from Karen to Ichaweri? What role did the Mombasa meeting, the Dubai conversations, and the discussions in the United States play in this saga? Stay tuned, because in the next chapter we'll delve deeper into this story, peeling back the layers of the events that bridged the unthinkable gap between two of Kenya's most powerful figures.
As leaders, it is our responsibility.
Now, dear viewers, let's dive deeper into the events that defined Kenya's political turbulence in mid-2023. A period marked by soaring political temperatures and nationwide protests. President William Ruto and former President Uhuru Kenyatta were at loggerheads, and opposition leader Raila Odinga had plunged the country into unending demonstrations. The nation was on the brink, desperate for an intervention.
I have now...
When the drama at Jomo Kenyatta's Karen home unfolded on July 21, 2023, it didn't just make headlines, it jolted the country. The raid, led by the DCI, was a clear escalation in the rift between the current and former presidents. But it also served as the tipping point for Kenya's faith leaders, led by Deliverance Church Bishop Mark Kariuki, Archbishop Ole Sapit, and a prominent bishop from Uganda, close to President Museveni. The Karen incident wasn't just another political episode. It gave church leaders the wake-up call they needed to step in and broker peace. On Tuesday, July 25, 2023, Bishop Mark Kariuki and other church leaders secured an audience with President William Ruto at State House. Their mission? To mediate and cool the simmering political temperatures. The discussions were focused and candid. The church leaders requested Ruto to consider mending fences with Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga. To their surprise, Ruto, a pragmatic politician, assured them he was open to dialogue with both leaders. The following week, the church leaders met Raila Odinga at his Upper Hill office on Friday, July 28, 2023. Their agenda remained the same, urging Raila to abandon the protests and seek an amicable resolution with Ruto. Raila agreed, but set conditions, which he promised to present during a meeting with the president. Fast forward to Saturday, August 5th, 2023, a day shrouded in secrecy. Through Chief of Staff Felix Koske, a highly classified meeting between Ruto and Raila was organised at State House in Mombasa. Even their closest allies were kept in the dark. Here's where the story takes a fascinating turn. One would have expected Raila to present demands tied to the protests, such as lowering the cost of living, opening the IEBC servers, or reinstating the Cherera 4. But no, Raila's demands were completely different. 1. Government endorsement and funding for his campaign for the African Union Commission, AUC chairmanship. 2. Control of 4 key dockets, including energy, finance, and the Speaker of the National Assembly. 3. Signing of more development projects for the Nyanza region. President Ruto, ever the strategist, quickly accepted these demands, recognizing their potential to smooth his leadership. But Ruto wasn't leaving empty-handed. He also made demands. 1. Raila to open political inroads for him in Nyanza. 2. Raila's support for his re-election in 2027. 3. Raila to ensure his allies ceased their criticism of the Kenya Kwanza government. Both leaders agreed and formalized the pact with their signatures. But there was still one unresolved issue. How would Raila withdraw his supporters from the streets without raising questions? The answer came in the form of NADCO, a committee ostensibly established to address the protesters' grievances, but in reality a convenient exit strategy for Raila.
Now, within 2 hours of President Ruto's press conference, Azimio la Umoja One Kenya leader Raila Odinga addressed a press conference and called off the planned Monday demonstrations.
As leaders, it is our responsibility in Azimio la Umoja to save this country from the catastrophe. We as Azimio la Umoja have resolved the following. 1. We acknowledge Mr. Ruto's olive branch.
August 10, 2023, Raila announced an end to the protests, citing the formation of NADCO. Parliament established the committee on Wednesday, August 16, 2023. Co-chaired by Kalonzo Musyoka and Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah. And then, silence. NADCO disappeared from the public eye, its purpose fulfilled as a vehicle to ease Raila out of the protests without backlash from his loyal supporters. So, dear viewers, was NADCO a genuine attempt to address the people's grievances, or was it a bargaining chip for Raila to secure his own interests? Was he leveraging his supporters as a political tool, only to abandon their cause once his goals were achieved? I leave this for you to ponder. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Ladies and gentlemen, let us reflect on the dramatic interactions between President William Ruto and former President Uhuru Kenyatta. When church leaders gave up after multiple failed attempts to secure a meeting with Uhuru, receiving the infamous response, "Nitapanga Niwambi, I will plan and let you know," the focus shifted to a different mediator.
Thank you very much.
Trade Cabinet Secretary Moses Kuria. On 25th November 2023, Moses Kuria met Uhuru Kenyatta at his Ichaweri home. His mission was clear: convince Uhuru to meet with President William Ruto and find common ground to stabilize the political landscape. An opportunity presented itself when both leaders planned to be in Dubai around the same time. Uhuru for medical reasons and Ruto for the COP28 climate change conference, running from 30th November to 12th December 2023. In a secretive meeting attended only by the two leaders and brokered by Moses Kuria, Uhuru Kenyatta reportedly made bold demands. 1. Stop targeting his family and businesses. 2. Assign him the Ministries of Interior and Agriculture. Why agriculture? Met Kenya's economy heavily relies on agriculture, including coffee, milk, and tea production. Controlling the Agriculture Ministry would give Uhuru significant influence in his home region. President Ruto refused to grant Uhuru any ministerial dockets. However, he did agree to ease pressure on Uhuru's family and businesses. Specifically, Ruto promised tax exemptions for Uhuru's enterprises, permission for Uhuru's son to continue his firearms business without interference. This partial agreement left the meeting inconclusive.
That every Kenyan will look after their neighbors and their friends.
The two leaders reconvened during the New Year celebrations in Mombasa, where both happened to be. Despite the festive setting, their discussions again ended in deadlock. Ruto refused to budge on Uhuru's demands for ministerial positions, while Uhuru continued to push for greater autonomy and influence. As the secret meetings between President William Ruto and former President Uhuru Kenyatta unfolded, word inevitably reached Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. Furious at being sidelined, Gachagua moved swiftly to counter the perceived slight. He gathered his allies, including Gakuyo from Embakasi West, Dong, and Wamuchomba, both prominent MPs from Mata Kenya. However, Gachagua made a crucial misstep by involving the Mathira MP in his strategy meetings, wrongly assuming the MP was loyal to him due to Gachagua's support during the elections.
Mumesema nikae na William. Nikae na William Ruto. Muko na uhakika?
Kabisa.
Nikae na William.
Serikali.
Na Kithure Kindiki. Na mnasema hivyo mkiwa Mathira?
Unbeknownst to Gachagua, the Mathira MP was feeding information directly to President William Ruto. One of the most damaging leaks occurred when the Mathira MP recorded Gachagua saying, "Huyu hatafika 2025 atashanga," a direct jab at Ruto suggesting the president would not complete his term. When this recording reached Ruto, he confronted Gachagua, accusing him of betrayal and asking him to resign. In response, Gachagua made an unusual demand. He would resign only if Ruto paid him for every vote secured in Mount Kenya during the elections, valuing each vote at 4,000 Kenya shillings. Ruto refused, citing the struggling economy, and instead offered to ensure Gachagua's retirement benefits and security. Gachagua stormed out of the meeting, seething with anger, and thus began the open rift between the two leaders. The fallout between Ruto and Gachagua escalated further when Ruto planted spies within Gachagua's inner circle, including his security detail. This led to the infamous Kisumu assassination claim in August 2024, where Gachagua accused Ruto of plotting to eliminate him. If you missed this dramatic episode, I've pinned the video here for your reference. Ruto, in turn, retaliated by initiating Gachagua's impeachment. He cunningly revealed to Uhuru Kenyatta that Gachagua had orchestrated the raid on Uhuru's farm during earlier protests, where goats and sheep were stolen. This revelation was calculated to deepen the enmity between Gachagua and Uhuru, prompting Uhuru to leverage his influence in Parliament to boost impeachment support. Despite several attempts to apologize to Uhuru through a long, heartfelt message, Gachagua never received a response. The Gen Z protests, while intense, were not the sole reason for Ruto dissolving his cabinet. The protests merely accelerated what was inevitable: Ruto's need to restructure his government to accommodate Raila Odinga's demands. The tension between Ruto and Uhuru finally thawed during the Embu bishop installation ceremony, leading to an open-door meeting at Ichaweri. In this meeting, they struck a deal. Ruto agreed to give Uhuru one cabinet docket, which is expected to go to Mutahi Kagwe as the new Health Cabinet Secretary. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in. If you've enjoyed this breakdown of Kenya's dramatic political maneuvers, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to Lifelines TV for more insightful and thought-provoking content. Hit the notification bell to stay updated on our latest uploads. And don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about this unfolding drama? Until next time, take care and see you soon. See you.